Hi, everybody, all you beautiful, amazing people that show up every day for my chats and my replay crew. I love you guys to death. I'm excited to be here every single day. I know I say that, and you might not believe me, but I am truly, truly excited every single day that I feel like going live and I get to spend an hour or like yesterday, a couple of hours with you. So, we're going to talk a little bit today, and I'm going to go ahead and get started. I know we've got a couple people here, and I'm sure that some more will be coming in as other chats finish out, or they'll be on the replay crew, which is always fine with me too. I don't care. It really doesn't matter. Hey, Joel, it's good to see you. Can't stay long. Have an appointment to have my foot x rayed, making sure it's healing right. I'm still affected by Brooke's live. This hit me to the core. Brave, smart, and strong. Thanks. I am very affected by her live too, and we have another one tomorrow. Tomorrow is the last part. It will deal with where she's at today, what kind of relationship statuses she might have, what kind of health issues she might have. We'll talk. I'm sorry, my glasses are sitting crooked. We'll talk about the burglary that she just had that stole even her life saving equipment and solar equipment and just everything. I mean, it was insane and just mean. Just mean. Anybody stealing that could easily, easily, easily tell that it was medical equipment and that it was needed. So I think that that's a horrible kind of person that would steal that kind of thing. Hi, Gary Mackey. It is so good to see you. Pippi Longstocking forever. So good to see you. I know that we're having a few more pop in and more pop in here as we go. But I'm going to go ahead and get started, y'all, so that I can try to stay within my hour. The Journey 2020. Hi, it's good to see you too. I don't recognize that name, and yet it seems vaguely familiar at the same time. So if you've been a lurker or I'm just like, chemo braining out and not recognizing your name, it is good to see you, and I hope you come back and see us many, many, many more times. So, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and get started. This is more of a lighter live. I thought maybe we could use one that was a little lighter. I've got one planned for Saturday. Hi, Miss Sunrise Dawn. I'm going to do one Saturday that's even lighter, just kind of a fun one, and Sunday's kind of a lighter one. I figured we might need a couple of days to kind of get our minds wrapped around Brooke's full story. TKK, good to see you. Eileen Bradley, good to see you too. Lots of people popping in now. So, anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Today, we're going to be talking about just a few random, kind of disturbing, even facts about Scientology that we can use. We need to memorize these so that we can repeat them anytime we need to. Hey, Kelly, YouTube fan. Good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while, I think. Yeah. Yes, some decompressing needed for sure, Eileen. Absolutely. And I'm sure for Brooke too. Because as emotional as it is for us, can you imagine for her and her mom? Her sweet mama. I mean, you guys, they are special people, aren't they? Just amazing, amazing, amazing people. So, anyway, I'm going to get started and I'll check back with you all randomly and towards the end. Anyway, today I'm here to arm you guys with a few disturbing facts about the cult, I mean, the church, oops, of Scientology. Facts that you can have on the ready, okay? And you can use them to arm yourself in order to prevent your babies from getting wrapped up in something like this cult or any cult. Because a lot of these facts are also the same for others too. Constance June, it's good to see you too. I'm back to my peppermint tea, y'all. Very much trying to relax. So, anyway, and guys, we have to protect our babies. And our babies can be grown babies, our own grown babies, our own little babies and our own grandbabies, whatever. They're our babies, right? Or unless, I mean, that's a Southern thing. Our kids are our babies until the day that we die, okay? Because we birthed them and they're ours and they can't get rid of us. So we have just got to figure out ways to arm ourselves so that if they come up with some kind of something that says, well, Scientology said this, then we can say, no, well, the truth is this. Go look it up. You know, if we save our babies from joining this cult and we get their tax exemption revoked, we can cripple them, y'all. We can cripple them to the point that they can't operate anymore. If they don't have any new blood and they have to start paying taxes on everything, it won't be long. I really believe that. So let's jump right into this, y'all. We need to commit to their we need to commit their crazy to our memory is what I'm trying to say. And fight to protect our families and our loved ones and anybody. Our babies, everybody's somebody's baby, right? Everybody's somebody's baby. Like Brooke. I didn't even know Brooke a couple weeks ago, and now she's like one of my closest friends. She's the person that I talk to every single day, and I don't see that changing. And Gary Mackey, I didn't know him 6 months ago, and now I think of him as a dear, dear friend. And Constance June, and Miss Sunrise Dawn, and Mischief Managed, and I could go on and on and on. I mean, I could go down the list with all of you guys. You all mean so much to me, and you're all somebody's baby. So I want to protect those babies. So we're going to just go through this list a little bit. Scientology, in case y'all didn't know, is currently a nationally recognized religion with a 503c tax designation, which means that they're tax free. They don't have to pay taxes on anything, nothing. And it's popular with some celebrities. But y'all, this church is just freaking weird. Okay? Let's just admit it. They're just weird. And I don't mean the people that are in it necessarily. I still think that they're victims. And I don't hate them. I don't think they're weird. I don't think they're losers or whatever. I think that the church's policies, all of that is just freaking weird. And it's somehow, oh, I forgot to turn my phone off. Might be my husband. No, wasn't him. I can call that one back. But anyway, it's just bizarre. And they get these people in there and they get them to believe their nonsense. And it just scares me to death. I mean, do you ever watch those protesters and when somebody's walking past the door, are you scared they're going to turn and go in? I am. I'm always scared. I'm like, please don't go in. Please don't go in. Please don't go in. Please don't go in. Either because I don't want them to be a member already and I don't want them to get roped into being a member. Hi, Marilee. So, yeah, it scares me when I watch those things happen. So, but anyway, beyond weird, they are incredibly dangerous. And if the whole Xenu and Thetan things weren't wackadoodle enough to scare people away, then the murders, extortions, culty behavior should cause any potential victims, I mean members, ugh, to run. And most do. Most do. But some don't. You know, some don't. And some not only bring themselves into it, but they bring their babies in there. And it just upsets me. So, y'all, I'm going to walk through a few facts that should prevent Church of Scientology from recruiting anyone ever again, which is my absolute goal in life. My absolute goal, y'all. Hi, Dusty. Good to see you. So, I'm going to start with number one, and I've got a few. So, bear with me. But I did find them kind of interesting, and some of it I knew, And some of it, there was like little things I didn't know, or maybe had forgotten. So commit these things to memory, y'all. Number one, David Miscavige, aka the cult leader, his tiny self, is rumored to have participated in domestic violence, and not to mention his violence toward cult members or victims. But apparently his marriage to Shelley kind of sucked, y'all. Rumor has it that he was abusive and the relationship was far more business than pleasure. Ugh. Ugh. I just cannot stomach the thought of pleasure with him. Anyway, it's said that little Davy has ice in his blood and blood on his hands, y'all. Example, and just one. I'm not going to go into deep dive in this. We could, and we might sometime, but these are all just going to be kind of little short snippets of things that we need to remember and build upon. Example, Flo Barnett. Yep, his mother-in-law, y'all. Ugh. She was absolutely no fan of little Davy, and she became very vocal about that. Even trying to get Shelley out of the church. It would be her daughter, okay? And away from her tiny terror of a husband. Instead, y'all, she wound up dead. So it was ruled, y'all get this one, it was ruled a suicide, a self unaliving. I mean, Flo apparently was pretty, flexible, to say one thing, because apparently she shot a long range rifle 4 times, hitting her chest twice and her head once and missing once. And yet the shots were not close range. They weren't up against her. But it was a long range rifle. So, I mean, that sounds a little sus, right? And Shelley did eventually, y'all, escape little Davy's abuse. I mean, I guess. She's not been seen publicly since 2007. And questions remain. Number one, where is Shelley? And number two, is she still breathing? She's still alive? I mean, probably, but do we really put anything past her husband? Number two, y'all. The Church of Scientology is tied to enslavement. Yeah. 2024. Slavery's alive and well in the Church of Scientology, y'all. The famous Sea Org, touted as the most elite, but it's really just little Davy's little fake space navy. Only they don't know about the space part. They don't know about that. Mostly comprised of teenagers, children, and assorted, barely paid volunteers who are required to work 12 to 14 hours a day, 7 days a week. And if everything lines up perfectly, all the stars align, all their paperwork is in order, everything is good and gold with Scientology, then they get paid $47 a week. They get to live in roach-infested squalor. And they often have absolutely zero contact with any of their family. You know what I don't understand about the whole roach-infested squalor? So they've got all these Sea Org members who do all this cleaning and cleaning and cleaning. But I guess they're only cleaning the public areas because apparently they're not cleaning their private areas or they wouldn't be roach infested. And if it's all one building, how do they keep the roaches from going down into the public areas where anybody that comes in there sees them? These are just questions that I'm like, I don't know. Because we had roaches one time, like a long time, like 30 years ago, you know. We had roaches. I was freaking mortified. And yes, they were mainly in the kitchen. But every once in a while, one would stray on down to the bathroom or the bedroom or the living room or whatever. And I would just be mortified, scared to death anybody was going to see them. So, how do they keep them in the private areas and not in the public areas? And why don't they just have the Sea Org members clean up the berths and everything too? You know, the berthings and everything. Because wouldn't that make more sense? It's like they want them to live in squalor. Doesn't it kind of seem like that a little bit? Like they want that to happen to them? I don't know. Anyway, lost my space. Oh, parents, y'all, sign over their parental rights to Scientology. And the members of the Sea Org sign billion-year contracts. And they're required to not have children. And if they do become pregnant, they face forced abortions. Okay. Coerced, maybe. They want to, my nose is itching, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm having an allergy attack. We've had some wind. Also, another reason I'm on the tea today. Number 3, church members are spied on all the time. They record everything. And if it's not being reported or recorded, y'all, it's friends tattling on each other. Friends and family. Everyone tattles on everyone. By order of the Supreme Lord and Master, L. Ron Hubbard. Long dead, but still the supreme ruler of this cult. You know, it's kind of creepy because, like, even if you're married to someone, your spouse will tattle on you. Your children will tattle on you, and you will tattle on your spouse and children. It's like, what in the world is that? I don't know what is on my face. Anyway, I'm sorry, y'all. See, this is what happens when you have to stare at the camera, so you end up staring at your own face. That's why I want to do Zoom, so I can see you guys instead of me. So, anyway, I don't know. It creeps me out, the whole tattling thing. I think it's so immature and just ugh. I don't know. Those auditing sessions that are being recorded, where you confess your dirtiest deeds and sinfulest sins, they're being recorded. Absolutely. Is it any wonder, y'all, that Scientology is full of predators? The crap that they confess, right? The crap that people confess. With the way the cult extorts and blackmails, the more ugly your confessions, even some that you probably made up just to get the auditing session to end, right? But all of your confessions, the uglier the better, are recorded and used against you to keep you from leaving the cult, to keep you paying for those auditing sessions. And you do it because you're so freaking scared of being blackmailed. So, yeah. Hi, Cricket Cinema. Good to see you. Y'all, these people are so, like, criminal and just devious. Ugh. That they even infiltrated the United States of America's government And yet somehow, what the hell is wrong with our government? This cult infiltrates several agencies of our government, blackmails people, threatens people. It was vicious. It was vicious, and we will cover it, or you can go look it up. And we grant them tax free status. What the AF is wrong with us? Other countries are starting to really see them for what they are, and we give them tax free status. And our police departments all across the United States support them, protect them. What the hell? It just, what is it? It's like one of those things that make you go, huh? Number 4, they have entire schools designed exclusively to brainwash your kids. They stay strong, y'all, by recruiting your kids, our kids. The younger, the better, because the younger they are, the easier they are to fool, and the longer that they can serve a dead man, basically. It is. Parents who join the church, called whatever, are expected to send their kids to Scientology private schools if they can afford them. These aren't provided free, y'all. They're very, very expensive. And of course, education above about the 5th or 6th grade isn't really needed. They have ways to claim that you're being educated, that you're in private schools. So nobody gets in trouble, but you're really not doing anything except for studying Scientology's theology. Is that what you would want for your children? Think of your children, a 6th grader. Let's say a 6th grader, okay? They've went to school for 5 years. Maybe they went to public school. Maybe they went to Scientology school, because Scientology school does want to teach them a little bit to begin with. They need to be able to do math, basic math, and read and comprehend what they're reading. But they don't need all that crazy stuff like science, history, maybe foreign languages, home ec, sociology, physiology, PE. They don't need any of that stuff. They just need to be able to write, read, and understand what they're reading, or what they're told they're reading. Number 5, other cult members, or cult leaders, sorry, took notes from Scientology, and vice versa. Oh, L. Ron wasn't exactly creative, y'all. I mean, he made up the whole, Xenu thing, but that was his imagination. It wasn't creativity. The Nexium founder, Keith Raniere, he was caught starting a sex trafficking ring using Hollywood starlets. And reportedly, he said that he studied old Elron to learn about how he was able to get away with so many crimes. Number 6, the church has a revenge policy. Heard of fair game, y'all? Well, this cult takes it to crazy levels. If the cult deems you dangerous, or you said something like, nah, I don't want any more auditing, or oops, I'm broke, no more money for you, the church can declare you dangerous, lower than the low, pond scum even. And then, Any of your confessions are used against you. Isn't that fun? They get nasty and mean, and they do illegal things. Anything they want to do, it's okay because you are a bad guy. You're dangerous. You're a suppressant person. As long as they don't get caught by the cops, it doesn't matter if it's legal or illegal. They'll do it with pleasure. But then, if they do get caught, they just tell the legal system that they're a victim of religious persecution. Yeah. And they'll just keep the legal system tied up with lawsuits and everything for years, and really years. Years, y'all. Decades. Until the legal system just says, fuck it. Screw it. I'm tired of messing with you. Number 7, Charles Manson tried Scientology. Birds of a feather flock together? Kinda. Except the Manson bird in this little rhyme, the whole birds of a feather flock together thing, said that Scientology was too batshit crazy for him. Okay, like technically I added the batshit part, but he did say it was too crazy for him. Can you imagine? Number 8, they operate a drug rehabilitation program called Narcanon. I can't even talk. But they use it as yet another way to recruit new members. They have no healthcare providers, no, on staff, no mental health care providers. Most of their staff is ex and even sometimes current addicts. Treatment is pretty much a lot of exercise and vitamins, niacin. We've all heard of that one, right? And long, long hours sitting in hot saunas. Now, oddly, people flee this. Some people just jump up and leave, you know, unless they die first, because there have been deaths. 9, the upper members of the church have been known to carry out brutal punishments to those who disobey them. With the way the cult controls members, it's hard to imagine the balls that it would take for someone to actually disobey someone that ranked higher than them, wouldn't it? But it happens. And sometimes the obeying is bullshit, y'all. Like, you spilled some coffee, or you looked at a celebrity that you're not supposed to, like, have eye contact with. Tom Cruise. Nasty old Elron was known for beating members of the cult, and little Davy, who likely couldn't stand on a step stool and slap someone in the face, y'all, gets to beat on and slap and do whatever he wants to members because they are absolutely forbidden to retaliate, to so much as raise a hand to that little shit. This is why I could never be a Scientologist, because I just don't believe in any of this stuff. Like, I would be in trouble. Like, I would be in, they'd kick me out in the first 15 minutes. Let's just be honest. Number 10. Sea Org members usually have it the worst. LRH was known to throw Sea Org members who displeased him overboard on the ship. Or you could be sent to the cult's prison camp. And this can be your fate for small or large offenses. It's just at the will of whoever. Elron, Little Davy, and the upper crust. Now, how about just a few facts, y'all, that to me seemed kind of mind-blowing. Some of them I knew, but when you really think about it, it seems a little mind-blowing. Like the fact that LRH told his wife that he had murdered their child. Apparently, when she threatened to leave him, he kidnapped the child, took her off somewhere, called his wife, and said that he had butchered her into pieces. He hadn't, thank God. But that's what he told her. And she believed him. He later called her and said, "Whoopsie, I lied. It wasn't true." Or maybe, I dreamed it or I imagined it or whatever he wanted to say. I don't know, but he recanted. Number 2, and this is probably one of the ones that just makes me the sickest of everything. Members are pressured to talk about their sex lives in great detail, or their fantasies, whatever it may be. They do this in auditing. And as if that's not icky enough, auditors are often as young as 10 or 12. And they can be like the best of the best in the auditing at 10 or 12, y'all. So basically, a 10 or 12-year-old girl or boy can be asking very detailed sexual questions to a 40-year-old man or woman, or vice versa. This 40-year-old or 50-year-old or 70-year-old or 20-year-old can also be asking very, very sexual questions to a 10-year-old who probably has to go word clear it to figure out what in the hell they're even talking about. And they don't just ask it once. They ask it over and over and over and over. Sometimes the same question for hours. It can be about, have you ever had sex with your father? Have you ever had sex with a dog? What kind of monster could honestly ask a 10 or 12-year-old those kind of questions? Number 3, mental illness does not exist. Psychiatrists are evil, all according to old Elron. And it's probably due to the fact that multiple psychiatrists said he was crazy, that he needed to be institutionalized, that he was a danger. Did that happen? Hell no. He just went off and started a cult. And everybody protects him. Can you imagine? It just popped into my head. I can just see these like psychiatrists, even back in the 50s and the 60s and the 70s, right? Even in the 80s. Can you see them honestly like getting a load of Elron's crazy? I mean, I can see his crazy from 10 feet away, and I'm not trained. Can you imagine them? But Scientologists will not seek mental health care, y'all. They won't, because Elron forbid it. And they really will not seek any kind of mental health medications, even something like Ritalin for kids, because they refuse to believe that mental illness exists. And if it does, it's, a little, some kind of little issue, they can fix it with auditing, niacin, and saunas, and maybe some hard labor. They think that things like Ritalin and Xanax are terrorist. Anyway, I'm almost done. Number 4, there's a literal prison camp. As if the whole damn cult isn't prison enough, they have the RPF, Rehabilitation Project Force, where you eat beans and rice and do hard labor. Now, y'all, I like beans and rice. But I asked a couple of people that used to be in Scientology, and according to them, the RPF beans and rice don't include cheese enchiladas. So I'm out. They just have to shoot me or something, because I'm not going to somewhere where all I can eat is beans and rice and they don't include enchiladas. Probably don't even have queso or salsa. Weirdos. Number 5, Jerry Seinfeld dabbled in the cult of Scientology. They literally celeb chase, y'all. And they've caught many. But some of the celebs are like, nah, miss me with that, y'all. Mm-mm. And they run for the Hollywood Hills. Others, like little Davy's best friend Tom Cruise, stay. Probably because they're treated like gods, get free labor, and God only knows what else. I mean, Danny Masterson literally got hand fed victims. And then they covered up for his crimes. I bet they wouldn't do that for you or me. Tommy Boy Cruise gets basically a free dating service, right? They bring them to him. How about this one? No, okay, ship her back. How about this one? No, okay, ship her back. How about this or this or this? No, well, maybe this one. Until she figures out that he's crazy, and then they leave, and it's always the girl's fault, right? What's the common denominator, Tom? You've had what? 3 marriages, up teen girlfriends, and the problem is always them. But if you're a celebrity, y'all, you get lavish gifts, slave labor. Sounds like a hoot, right? As long as you're a celebrity. Number 6, the FBI investigated the cult for human trafficking due to reports of them enslaving members of a Sea Org, which technically doesn't exist, except it does. Much like the RPF and fair gaming and kids in Scientology, all of those things don't exist either, except they do. But for some reason, the FBI can't find enough proof. Hey, FBI, how about watch a few SPTV videos? We got a lot of ex Scientologists, ex Sea Org members that can tell you exactly how this cult operates and how it traffics kids into its web, how it mistreats and enslaves the elderly and steals all their money and drives them into bankruptcy. And how about that, FBI? How freaking hard is it to just watch a little bit of SPTV, even if it's just to get names, and then call them up and talk to them? I guarantee you they'd talk to you. What about Mike Render and his little crew? What about all the information they supposedly turned over to you? Did they? If so, what the hell are you doing with that? If not, why the hell aren't you going over there and, hey, Render, you're making us look like a bunch of dumbasses because you're telling everybody that you turned over a bunch of information you didn't turn over. But nope. FBI just sits on their fist and leans back on their thumb. Number 7. Scientology, y'all, is always preparing for the apocalypse. Religions always have done that on some levels, right? You know, the second coming of the Lord, all these things. I mean, they've all got their version of it. But this cult has freaking bunkers built in to underground, to mountains. These things are fireproof. Nuclear proof. I couldn't think of the word, y'all. And then let's not even think about all the thousands and thousands of all of LRH's teachings that are all hidden away, ready for the apocalypse, I guess. I don't know. Number 8. This one's kind of funny. I knew about it, but I enjoyed reading about it. You'll have to go back and read some more on it, too. DOA is a fraud. It's good to see you. The church tried to censor Wikipedia. So now Wikipedia has banned any organization affiliated with the Church of Scientology. Any email addresses that are Church of Scientology email addresses, anything that has to do that they can trace to the Church of Scientology is banned from editing their articles on Wikipedia. Why? Well, because the cult repeatedly removed information that they didn't want told or that they thought looked bad on them. Yeah, Constance June, those plates with all of his teachings is a waste of a lot of money. And it has to be played on a solar panel or solar powered like a record player. I can't think, turntable. Sometimes the words come back, sometimes they don't. So, yeah, if it's critical to them on Wikipedia, they were just going in there and deleting it and changing it. And Wikipedia is like, whoa, wait, no, not gonna do this. So y'all, I hope that you found these lists informative, even oddly entertaining. And I feel this information needs to be out there so that nobody, young or old, ever joins this cult again. My prayer, y'all, is that we shut down this cult in my lifetime, or tomorrow would be even better. The way to do it is to educate our youth about this cult and others, but this one in particular. And we have got to get their tax exemption taken away from them. But we need your help. Each of us can do something. Something. I'm asking you to contact your state and federal lawmakers. Email them. And not just once. Send them one every week. Send them one every month. Whatever. This election is coming up in November. It's a great time to get Scientology on their mind. Write letters to the editor. You can even ask the lawmakers in your letter to the editor how they can continue to let this cult have a tax-free status. This can all be done for your home, on your phone. It doesn't cost anything. It's easy peasy. I see you, Miss Sunrise Dawn. If you can do more, do it. But if you can't, that's fine. Just email some people. Talk to your friends. Talk to your kids. Call people, write people, send letters to the editor. But again, most important, warn your babies. Warn them that this is not a church, it's a cult. Lead them to SBTV or other anti-Scientology creators. It doesn't have to be SBTV creators. There's others. There's a lot of others. I mean, my God, even Nora. Oh no, Nora. She's not really considering herself as an SPTV creator at this time. She's kind of going out on her own, doing her own thing. Good for her. Juanita Crespo, good to see you. She says every month she emails her senators and have been doing so since March the 3rd. Thank you. Thank you. We've got to be proactive with this cult. We can't just sit back and be like, okay, it'll happen, okay. We can't do that anymore. We have to protect our babies. Because you know what? They know that the crap that they say are lies. Those little body routers, they're victims too, y'all. And I'm not like hating on them. But those little body routers outside of the buildings, they know they're lying. They know how shitty their lives are. But they're so indoctrinated into that it's for the greater good. It might be shitty now, but it's going to be great next week or next month or in the next lifetime or the next 10 lifetimes. It's going to be fine. It's going to be all worth it. You're putting up with this stuff because you are the best of the best, even though we treat you like the worst of the worst. They know they're lying, and they still lie. And they like to put cute little girls and cute little guys out there to attract those young kids. Just talk to your babies. Let them know. Protect your babies, y'all. Because we do not need not one more kid in Scientology. Not one. I'm going to go check with my chat. See what we got going on. I think you're mostly talking to each other, but it's okay. I love that even. Pippi Longstocking says, good evening, Susie in chat. The Journey is saying hi. Miss Sunrise Dawn is here from North Georgia, y'all. Oh my gosh. I always forget about this kind of stuff, TKK. Good morning, Susie. Lovely to spend my 5 a.m. coffee with you, Anna. Well, I am spending my 5 p.m. coffee or tea with you. Yes, absolutely, Eileen. Some decompression is absolutely needed after yesterday's live, but join us back tomorrow at 6 for the final installment of Brooke's interviews. Y'all, I said it for 6 because Mark has a CT scan because of that hernia that he's got. He's got a grapefruit sized hernia on his in his abdomen. And so we have a CT at 1:30. And I'm pretty sure that we can have it done and get everything else that we have to do in town and be back before 6. But if not, I will have somebody postpone it for me, or I'll try to do it on my phone or something. But the plan is I should be back in plenty of time. And I'm really looking forward to doing that interview. So we're going to try to meet back here tomorrow at 6 Central Standard Time. That's my time. Gary Mackey, Mary Lee, Constance June, The Journey, Dusty Soda Dispenser, who I still want to call Dusty Soda Fountain. Dusty says, hello, all. I have a new stick. Dr. Love, the SBTV evangelist. I'm going to have to test this out. I'm going to have to see. Yeah, Dusty, they call you Dr. Love. I think my computer might be being delivered. I hear what sounds like a delivery truck. I'm hoping it's my laptop. Oh, hear my dogs. They hear it too. TKK says, Marilee, nope, this is my life. Pain keeps me awake, going on 15 years since my trauma. Oh my goodness. 15 years is a long time to be in pain, y'all. Miss Sunrise Dawn says, Gary, my youngest, tried a while back to inform me that she's 5 now, so I can't call her a baby. I reminded her that her sister is an adult and about to have her own baby, and she's still my baby too. Absolutely. I have no. You're gonna smush me. Mark's dog was like jumped up on the bed. He's an Australian Shepherd and he's a little bit big. He likes to get right up in my face and give me all kinds of kisses. You want to come see mommy? Come here. Duke, come here. No? You got an itch. Come here. Come here. Let's see if I can see him. Duke, looky there. You're on. Oh, he got scared. He says, oh, my eyes was great big. You made your appearance on YouTube. Oh, you're going to turn around and ignore me now? Yes. That wasn't Daddy, was it? Was it a computer? I hope so. Anyway. Yes, Miss Sunrise Dawn. I have a baby that's almost 40. I think she's 38. And one that is 34. I have a hard time with their ages. I can tell you when they're born, but not necessarily how old they are. But anyway, they are my babies. They're always going to be my babies. Their babies are my babies. And now, one of their babies has a baby, and he's my baby. So, I am gathering the babies, y'all. My nephew's babies are my babies. Mm-hmm. My brother's babies, my babies. If they were born after me and they are in my family, they're my babies. And I'm going to protect every damn one of them from Scientology. Oh, yeah. Now, Miss Sunrise Dawn, she has it figured out. Flo must have hired her own firing squad. You know, Davy's mother-in-law that shot herself twice in the chest and once in the head with a long-range rifle. It was suicide. Merrily. Dusty, a new church. Did you get ordained? My daughter did. She has the Church of the Holy Shit. Dusty, if you need a nun, I can don that outfit. You know, Miss Sister Bougie can just come right on and help you out if you need some help sometime. She's just raring to get back into her habit. Aw. Eileen says, I had my oldest at 17. And when she's 70 and I'm 87, she's still my baby. Sister Lilith gave Dusty an upgrade. Oh, I'm jealous. I want in on some of this sister business. TKK says, I would love a new mom, as mine was and is abhorrently abusive. Oh, honey. Cricket Cinema says for everybody to have a good day. Yeah, hasn't the Sea Org ever heard of Raid? I'm the same with you, Miss Sunrise Dawn. I really am, but I was just like, how do they not get down in the bottom parts of that building? You know, how are there not roaches running across Tom Cruise's shoe when he happens to walk in, or little Davies, or crawling across the pictures of L. Ron Hubbard in those teeth? Can you imagine if you looked Can you imagine if you looked up at a picture of Elron and there was like a roach on his teeth? I would laugh my ass off. Maybe I could paint a picture of Elron and put a roach on his tooth. Marilee says, my grandkids are pretty safe from Scientology. 3 of the 5 are neurodivergent. Yeah? Marilee says, mine was already distant until our dad died. She actually apologized before she died. Now some of her ashes are heading for deep space with the Roddenberries. Miss Sunrise Dawn says, oh, I forgot. We have 2 chat rules. I only knew of one. 1, don't be a jerk. 2, if you're grumpy and feeling like a jerk, refer back to rule 1. You guys are so funny. Yes, Marilee says she's feeling a little grumpy when she's still sick, but she gets a little bit of a hall pass for that. Hope she feels better soon, sweetheart. Hope you feel better soon. Marilee says, I was reading at 4.5 and was reading chapter books by grade 1. Wow. Aw, Marilee says, listening to Susie always makes me feel a little bit better. That's so sweet. Gary Mackey says, I'm allowed to be mean to Mischief and call her goober whenever I want, and I do. Oh. Yeah, if even Charlie Manson thinks you're nuts, Eileen, you know that you're crazy if Charlie Manson thinks that you're nuts. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, Sunrise Dawn. He declared them crazy and they're still here. See, Miss Sunrise Dawn she's being mischief managed today. She's got a 30-minute warning. DOA is a fraud. Good to see you. I'm going to kind of skip down through here a little bit because I'm about 2 minutes away from being in trouble. Oh. Yeah, those plates with all of his teachings are a terrible waste of money. Says Eileen says, oh honey, trapping is a well-known tactic. The Jehovah Witness I used to get at my door were usually very good looking and well dressed young people. Absolutely. They're not dumb. None of them are dumb. We're going to have some stuff about Jehovah Witness too, and Mormons and a few other very high control religious groups, and then also some groups that aren't, they're very high control, but they're not necessarily. Oh, so woohoo. According to FedEx, it was delivered, says Gary Mackey. Y'all, I wasn't sure if I was going to do this or not. But you know, I had a couple of days there that I had some serious trouble with my laptop. I mean, like, it went dark on me, it quit on me, it echoed on me, one thing after another. And my sweet, precious friend, Gary Mackey, bought me a laptop. And apparently it's probably sitting out on my stool, my bench outside, and I'm going to go get it as soon as I get off of here and play with it, and we're going to see. So I was kind of afraid to say something because there's been so much talk about grifters and, people kind of tricking other people into giving them money. And I don't know if that's true or not. I'm not saying one way or the other. I'm just saying there's been a lot of talk about it. And with more than one person, a lot of people, a lot of different creators. And I was terrified of looking and sounding like a grifter. And so I really struggled with whether or not to even accept the gift. But then I thought, I didn't ask for this. He offered. I need it. It will enable me to do so much more with my channel than I'm able to do right now. It will enable me to fight Scientology more than I'm doing right now. And so I love you, Gary Mackey. I loved you before you offered the laptop, and I will love you till the day I die. You are a kind, amazing man who has helped so many people in this community. But I certainly never expected somebody to buy me a laptop. So now all the money that I make on this channel is definitely going towards paying my chemo co-payments. Because I had thought, well, maybe I could kind of split it in half and send part of it to chemo and part of it to get a laptop. But I don't have to now. I can send it all to pay off my chemo because of Gary Mackey. And I will never, ever forget the kindness. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm very emotional about this because this has never happened to me before. Nothing like this has ever happened to me before. So I appreciate it, y'all. Yeah, Mischief Man is just playing hooky. Aw, thank you, Miss Sunrise Dawn. She says that we all know you're not a grifter. I swear I'm not. Oh my God, Gary. Thank you. Thank you. Sunrise Dawn says, don't you dare apologize for having emotions. We're not Scientos. True. Pippi Longstocking says, it's a blessing, Susie. I'm happy for you. And Miss Sunrise Dawn says, thank you for being awesome, Gary. Absolutely. Oh, he is. He's amazing. And I mean, when he told me he was sending it, I was just, when he told me to send him the information, I thought he was going to check it out and see, if I was picking the right one. Because I'm not brilliant with this kind of thing. And I thought that was what he was doing. Yeah, who's cutting onions in here? Susan P's right. Thank you, Gary, for helping, or Susie. Thank you, guys. I'm sorry. I just got so emotional over that, and it kind of feels good to let it out a little bit because I literally have been just holding it in and trying to figure out if I was going to mention it because I truly, truly, truly was so scared of being called a grifter. And I know I'm not, but everybody else might not know that. So what I'm doing, y'all, is I'm going to pay it forward. I can't afford to send y'all a laptop. I would love to. Yeah, I'm not crying. You're crying. Oh, wait, we're both crying. Sunrise Dawn, I love you. But anyway, I do like to have memberships to some of the channels that I really think need them, can use them. Like some of the smaller channels, I try to give viewing hours to some of the smaller channels. I try to send super chats occasionally to some of the smaller channels. I can't afford a lot. I'm trying to pay off $1,500 a month in chemo. But, and, normal bills, and I can't work. So, anyway, I'm doing that. But when I have a few extra dollars or something or whatever, I like to try to do a little bit, even if it's $2, because sometimes it doesn't matter. Gary Mackey, I'm going to drive down there and just give you all kinds of hugs. And then wring your neck. Thanks for those gifted memberships, y'all. Gary, you're just... But anyway, I try to do little things. And then once I get this chemo out of the way, I'm going to help more. I have so many plans. Like I want to send spray chalk to some of the ones that are doing, chalk tech. I want to give my mods gifts. I want to just pick random people and send them cards and just, I want to pay it forward because that's how I can make sense out of accepting it. So, yeah, it's raining memberships. So anyway, thank you, Gary. You're amazing. You are truly amazing. And so are the rest of you. It's not just that he's amazing because he gave me a laptop. You're all amazing. He just happened to also give me a laptop. I mean, seriously. Jeez. And not a cheap one. Not a cheap one. And he upgraded the one that I was looking at to even better than what I was looking at. So it's just amazing to me. So anyway, I'm going to go because I'm going to fall apart and I really don't want to do it any more than I already have online. So I love you guys. Yeah. It's Gary's fault. You just tell Mischief that Gary made me cry. I love you guys and I will see you tomorrow with Brooke, who I adore.